Jim Rohn taught that success is rarely about telling people what you plan to do. It is about quietly doing what needs to be done. One of the most profound lessons he shared is this: move in silence. Let your results speak for themselves. The world is full of talkers, but the achievers, the ones who truly change their lives, understand that words alone do not create outcomes. Action does. When you announce your intentions prematurely, you expose your vision to doubt, distraction, and criticism. Your energy, which should be devoted to doing, instead gets diverted to defending, explaining, or seeking validation. Jim reminded people that the discipline of silent action is one of the greatest advantages a person can cultivate. Your plans, your goals, your dreams, they are yours. Protect them, nurture them, work on them with consistency and dedication. Results have a way of speaking louder than any explanation ever could. Lesson 1. The power of silent action. Jim Rohn often said, when you announce your goals too soon, you lose momentum. Work quietly, act consistently, and the results will make the noise. Think of a gardener planting seeds. He does not tell the world about each seed he plants, each time he waters the soil, each day he pulls weeds. He focuses on the process. He understands that results take time, and when the harvest comes, it speaks for itself. The same principle applies to life. Whether you are starting a business, learning a skill, or building a healthier lifestyle, the act of doing quietly ensures your energy is directed toward growth, not distraction. Jim often reminded his audiences, success is built on private efforts, repeated consistently over time. What you do when no one is watching matters more than what you do when everyone is watching. A young man wanted to start a small business. Excited, he told his friends, his family, and even acquaintances on social media. Every question, every opinion, every doubt drained his energy. He spent more time explaining than doing. Meanwhile, a peer with the same dream worked quietly, day after day, refining his skills, building products, and making steady progress. In the end, the quiet worker succeeded, not because he was luckier, smarter, or more talented, but because he focused on action rather than talk. Identify one personal or professional goal. Keep it private this week. Take at least one deliberate action each day to move closer to it. Notice the difference in focus and momentum when no one else is watching. Lesson 2. Avoiding the trap of validation. Many people seek approval before they act. They want reassurance that their plan is right, that their idea is good, that their dream is achievable. Jim Rohn warned against this habit. External validation is a weak foundation for success. Build your life on your own effort. When you rely on others' approval, you give away your power. Your energy shifts from creating results to managing perception. Success, Rohn taught, comes from disciplined action, not the applause of others. A woman dreamed of writing a book. She shared her idea with friends and family. Some encouraged her, some offered advice, and some laughed. Each reaction chipped away at her confidence. She spent weeks debating, adjusting, and justifying instead of writing. Meanwhile, a friend with a similar idea wrote consistently, month after month, without announcing it to anyone. Eventually, that friend published a successful book, not because they were luckier, but because they worked quietly while others were distracted by opinions. What actions could you take this week without telling anyone? How would your progress look if you focused solely on results, not validation? Lesson 3. Patience. Let your work mature. Jim Rohn often used the analogy of a tree. You don't announce the seed you plant, you nurture it quietly day by day until it bears fruit. Success rarely happens overnight. The world is full of impatient people who share their intentions too soon and expect immediate results. Growth takes time. Skills, habits, relationships, and achievements all develop silently through consistent effort. A young man decided to learn programming. He shared his goal online and asked for constant feedback. When progress was slow, he grew discouraged. Meanwhile, a peer quietly coded every day, practiced, debugged mistakes, and improved steadily. After a year, the quiet learner was hired by a top tech company, while the one seeking constant validation struggled to show meaningful progress. Commit to a long-term project in silence. Focus on small daily improvements. Track your progress privately. Notice how consistent effort builds momentum over weeks, months, and years. Lesson 4. Comparison kills focus. Jim Rohn taught, don't compare yourself to others. Your only competition is who you were yesterday. Sharing your plans publicly often invites comparison. You begin to measure your progress against others, and envy can take root. But silent effort keeps your attention where it belongs. On your own journey, example, two people start learning the same skill. One constantly shares updates online, measuring herself against peers. The other focuses quietly on learning each day. By the end of the year, the quiet learner has achieved mastery, while the other may feel frustrated, distracted by public perception rather than progress. Identify one area of life where comparison is holding you back. How could working quietly help you focus on personal growth instead? Lesson 5. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. Jim Rohn emphasized, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Discipline means showing up every day, even when motivation is low, even when results aren't immediately visible. It means protecting your goals from distraction, from the temptation to announce prematurely, and from the influence of others' opinions. Story. Consider a musician learning to play the piano. Each day, she practices diligently without posting updates on social media. She focuses on the process, not applause. After years of consistent effort, she performs flawlessly on stage. Her discipline, cultivated in private, became the foundation of her success. Set a daily routine that moves you closer to a private goal. Follow it without sharing progress until you see tangible results. Lesson 6. Results speak louder than words. Jim Rohn's central teaching is simple. The world doesn't need to hear what you plan. It needs to see what you accomplish. Words can inspire. They can motivate. But results transform lives. When you focus on action, you create evidence of your commitment, skill, and persistence. Over time, your achievements make the noise for you, louder and more convincing than any explanation ever could. Example, Warren Buffett rarely announces investment plans before executing them. J.K. Rowling wrote her first Harry Potter manuscript quietly before submitting it for publication. Elon Musk tests innovations privately before revealing them to the public. Each of these examples illustrates the power of silent, focused action. Choose one goal to work on quietly this month. Let the results, not your announcements, define your progress. Lesson 7. Protect your energy. Jim Rohn said, energy is your most valuable asset. Guard it carefully. Talking about your plans too often exposes you to negativity, doubt, and distraction. Protecting your energy means limiting unnecessary explanations, avoiding gossip, and focusing on work that produces results. A small business owner shared every new idea with colleagues. Some supported him, but most offered criticism or unsolicited advice. He spent more time defending ideas than executing them. The same ideas pursued quietly would have progressed faster and with greater results. This week, identify one area where you spend energy explaining or justifying. Redirect that energy into action instead. Lesson 8. The few who succeed are the silent doers. Jim Rohn observed, the few who do are the envy of the many who only watch. Most people talk about what they will do. Few actually do it. Those who succeed consistently act quietly, consistently and purposefully. Their actions accumulate into results that speak for themselves. A young athlete wanted to be great. While friends talked about dreams, he trained every morning, every evening, in silence. He didn't post updates or seek validation. Years later, he became a champion. His secret? Quiet, disciplined, consistent action. In which area of life can you become a silent doer this year? How will acting quietly help you achieve more? Lesson 9. The compound effect of quiet effort. Jim Rohn often said, small disciplines repeated over time lead to massive success. Small errors repeated over time lead to failure. Working quietly compounds. Each small action, each day of effort without distraction or validation, builds momentum. Over months and years, the results become extraordinary. Example. A writer spends 30 minutes daily on a manuscript without sharing progress online. After a year, the book is finished. The public only sees the completed work, unaware of the thousands of small efforts behind it. Pick a habit that contributes to your long-term goal. Practice it daily in silence. Track results privately. Reflect monthly on your growth. Lesson 10. Build character and confidence through silence. Jim Rohn taught that true success is inseparable from character. Doing your best quietly builds confidence, integrity, and self-respect. When you focus on action, you cultivate discipline, patience, and perseverance. These qualities compound alongside your achievements, forming a foundation for lifelong success. Which personal qualities do you want to strengthen? How can silent effort in one area of life help build them? Jim Rohn's wisdom is timeless. Move in silence. Let your success make the noise. Success is rarely about announcing intentions. It's about showing results, protecting your energy, and trusting the process. By embracing quiet diligence, you cultivate patience, integrity, and unstoppable momentum. Remember, the world doesn't need to know your plans. It only needs to witness your success. Start today. Act in silence. Grow in consistency, and let the results speak louder than words.